was so glad to see you here after all.
I want to show you something.
Alright, here it is. The last story in the Twilight saga. Now let's get this over with so we never have to think about another sparkly vampire as long as we live. Here's Breaking Dawn Part 2.
Where in the world did the time go?
Finally. This should be good.
So Bella wakes up and doesn't look like shit anymore. And now that she's a vampire, Edward can't hurt her in the bedroom, so she tries to get some. But he's like, hold on, you're stronger than me right now. We should probably wait.
Why is this guy always cockblocking himself?
I don't know, but you can't blame him. Look what happened last time.
You know we have no control over it.
And speaking of, Bella's like, oh right, I had a kid before I died, didn't I? Can I go see her? And Edward's like, you should probably eat before you see our human baby. And she's like, yeah, dying did make me pretty hungry. So they go to the woods and play around with their new powers.
I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire!
She starts hearing all these cute woodland creatures and is like, what sounds good for lunch? She decides to take down a cute little deer with no hesitation whatsoever until she smells some dude mountain climbing. And she seems like she's gonna be okay until he skins his knee, and then she sprints like a mile to the mountain and starts climbing to him like a spider monkey.
You better hold on tight, spider monkey.
But Edward stops her about halfway up, and she jumps off the mountain to go back and kill Bambi.
Yeah, butthole.
It's fine. A mountain lion was also there for the deer, and she gets it instead.
Well, it looks like she changed her mind.
When they get back to the house, Jacob makes sure that she can handle being around him before she goes inside to see the baby. And then after she smells how gross his dog smell is, everyone thinks she's okay to go see Renesmee. And she is just the most terrifying thing you can imagine.
Kill it!
And on top of that, she can project thoughts into your head.
Demon baby.
Could be. Well, Jacob doesn't like risking that Bella could kill his new girlfriend, so he tries to take her. But she knows something's up since he's so possessive. Plus, he said that her and Edward look good as a couple.
You are the one who wanted us to get along, remember?
So the Cullens tell him to tell her that he imprinted on Renesmee.
Age is just a number, baby.
And she throws him out like a dog that just shit on the rug. She is pissed. And he tries to tell her that it's not sexual. Yeah, right.
So should I start calling you dad?
But he's like, the only reason I was ever attracted to you was because of the unfertilized egg inside you. And the only reason you were ever attracted to me was because of her. And now that she's born, we're gonna be very happy together, Nessie and me.
You nicknamed my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster?
Certainly fits the situation.
Cause that's some fucking ugly baby. A fucking ugly baby.
Jesus, she is terrifying.
And she's like, okay, you can stay.
It feels complete when you're here, Jake.
That night, the Cullens take Edward and Bella to their new house in the woods. And when they get to the bedroom, she asks why there's a bed. And he's like, you know. And so they bang.
It's your turn not to break me.
You want to try?
It's alright, I can take it.
That's my dick!
That didn't take much.
And after she says,
You really were holding back before.
but that's not how I remember it.
Are you sure this is a good idea?
Edward, I'm not ready. I said that I wasn't ready.
Wow. Done already?
But she thinks that this is all they're going to be doing now, to the point that she thinks they can beat Emmett and Rosalie's record of 10 years of almost non-stop banging. So I guess she forgot about her baby again.
You can't be serious, Bella. Tell me you're not that stupid.
Then when they get back, they see that Charlie's calling, and the Cullens are like, we'll tell him tomorrow that you're dead, and then we'll move to Alaska. So that means that they bought or built a house, furnished it, decorated it, stocked it with a new wardrobe for Bella, just for them to bang in it for one night and never go back to it again.
Well, that was generous.
Damn, I need to be a vampire doctor when I grow up.
It does seem like they have some disposable income. Of course, it does help when you never have to buy groceries.
Giving us an excuse to use the kitchen for the first time.
Well, Jacob can't lose his new girlfriend, so he goes to Charlie and strips for him.
Go, 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 go.
Kid trying to brown nose me now or something?
And then he changes into a werewolf, because of course, he had to do that to convince Charlie that Bella's different now.
You don't turn into an animal too, do you?
And since he's on his way, now she forgets how to move like a normal person. But she figures that if she just stays still, she'll be fine. But Edward brings in the baby that's growing exponentially and introduces her as his niece that he adopted when Charlie knows that Edward is adopted himself. But he claims to buy the lie, even after noticing that Renesmee has Bella's eyes, and then he fucks off.
Quite frankly, it's scaring the hell out of me.
But the kid is growing super fast, so good luck explaining that to Charlie.
You've grown half a foot. Seriously, like 6 inches.
And even worse, while Bella and Jacob take Renesmee out, that one broad Irena is just randomly out in the woods and sees the kid flying, and then runs away and jumps off a cliff.
Awesome. So you're an adrenaline junkie now?
According to Carlisle, she was there to apologize for being a bitch at the wedding, but when she got there, she saw Renesmee and snitched to the Volturi that the Cullens created an immortal child, meaning they think that they turned a 6-year-old into a vampire.
This is a crime!
The decision's been made. They're coming here.
But I thought they had told the Volturi that the whole reason that they were waiting to turn Bella was so that nobody would be suspicious.
Shut up. The Volturi won't listen to him because Irena saw a kid, and that's good enough. But the Cullens think that maybe they'll listen to other people, and if they get enough people to tell them that the kid was born and not turned, that they'll leave him alone.
I'm gonna need numbers.
So they decide to go all over the world to show off the kid to all their friends, because calling to see if they would help is just completely out of the question. But when they're about to leave, Sam shows up with a note from Alice and Jasper saying that they have until the first snowfall before they come to get them. I guess they're walking underwater from Italy or some shit. But now they know they have time to do their stupid long plan.
But if Renesmee was growing that fast, wouldn't she be like a teenager before they got there?
Look, the Volturi are a bunch of petty bitches who will literally kill somebody for misspelling a name.
It's from Carlisle, which is spelled with an S.
And they've been looking for a reason to kill the Cullens, and now they have one. And Bella's part of the reason Irena isn't getting Laurent's Limp D anymore, so fuck her. And when it comes to immortal children, Irena's mom turned a toddler back in the day, not realizing that if it would ever throw a temper tantrum, that it would slaughter a village. So the kid was tossed into a fire, and her mom's head got popped off like a Barbie doll's, and Irena had to watch. So if Bella did the same shit as her mom, then double fuck her.
I don't understand what I did to make you hate me so much.
So their first stop is at Irena's house to try to get her family support. Bella, Edward, and Jacob try to explain to him that she's not an immortal child, but then Renesmee touches Tanya and she's like, she's real. So the rest of them are like, I want her to touch me too, and Jacob gets jealous.
That's enough experimenting for one day.
Carlisle and Esme go to Egypt, where these people don't want to get in the middle of it. But this other guy, Benjamin, pulls some Moses shit, and they're like, okay, what's up? So they go back to Forks, and Renesmee touches Benjamin, and then some Amazon women show up, and she touches them too.
My turn.
Emmett and Rosalie find this guy Garrett, and he's like, okay, I'll go, but let me just kill this guy real quick. So a total of 18 vampires come to help, including this dude Alistair, who came all this way to say that not only will he not fight the Volturi, but he doesn't even want to meet Renesmee.
So why did he go?
I don't know. Maybe he was just bored or some shit. But everyone starts showing off their powers, like Safrina gives people acid trips, and Kate's electric. She shocks Garrett, and he's like, ooh, hurt me again, mommy. And she's super turned on by that. So of course, they're in love now.
No romance.
But nothing seems to work on Bella, and Eleazar's like, she's a shield. And Edward's like, oh shit, that actually makes a lot of sense.
But they knew at the end of the second story that vampire powers didn't work on her.
She confounds us all.
Jasper, no fair with the mood control thing.
So why is Edward so surprised now?
Well, she wasn't a vampire then, so he must have thought that her smell gave everybody performance anxiety or some shit.
Did you come?
Yeah?
Anyway, two randos show up and want to join, not to help him, but to kill the Volturi. And then Eleazar pieces together that Aro frames families when he wants someone to join him. And then he convinces his crew that they're good vampires who just got caught up with the wrong crowd.
It wasn't exactly an easy alliance.
Well, I wouldn't want to hang out with some butthole who killed you.
Would you rather die? I didn't think so. But you do have to wonder if this is the first time the whole family is aware of what he's doing, or if all of his people know that he killed their family and are just gonna turn on him one day.
All that time, I really believed you were the good guys.
I mean, that might happen, but right now, the Volturi are tracking down anyone who might join the Cullens to fight against them. You know, instead of just going to Forks and killing them before they can even recruit. But apparently, they want to give Bella enough time to train. Now that they know she's a shield, they think she can project a force field onto others. So they try it out on Edward. Kate's gonna electrocute him if Bella can't do it. And when she can't, she's like, alright, how about I go shock your creepy kid instead?
Creepy.
And now, Bella can do it. That night, Bella finds a clue that Alice left for her in the book she ripped a page out of.
Oh, did she really know that book and it spelled out her plan?
No, she literally just wrote another clue in the book.
So why would she be the only one who would find it?
I don't know, laziness?
Sneaky.
And the next day, she takes Renesmee and Jacob to visit her dad, who's now apparently banging Sue Clearwater. And he barely has a reaction to the baby now being about 8 years old.
How'd you get so old so fast?
I didn't.
Is that a gray hair? I'm a cop. I know things.
And then she heads to Seattle. She meets with a man called Mr. Jinx, and he gives her new passports for Jacob and Renesmee, so they'll be safe from the fight. And Bella's upset that her and Edward don't have new identities too. Or maybe she just doesn't like the idea of the two of them running off together so soon.
She's a baby!
When they get home, Bella throws a shitload of money in a backpack and then go to her dad's for Christmas. They give Charlie and Sue a 5-day fishing trip so they won't be in town either. And since the snow is sticking, they have a bonfire to talk about how old they are and what wars they fought in. Bella tells Renesmee that she needs to stay with Jacob tomorrow, thinking that maybe they're taking the red eye or some shit, but no. They go to the battlefield too. Now, Alice said that the Volturi would show up when the snow sticks, but it was already sticking yesterday, so I can only assume that she meant the first business day after the snow stuck. But vampires really don't strike me as the religious type. No! So they all show up to the vampire baseball field and tell each other I love you.
I'll follow you anywhere, woman.
And then the Volturi show up, and there's a fuck ton of them.
We're all going to die.
But then, the werewolves show up, and the Volturi stop. Carlisle wants them to talk it out, but the Volturi are like, we can see the fucking kid, it's right there. But Aro's willing to read Edward's memories, and sees that Renesmee was in fact conceived via honeymoon limp dick premature ejaculation.
It's really funny.
And now he wants to meet Renesmee, so Bella, Jacob, and Emmett bring her out to him. She touches him, and he sees the truth. So they bring out Irena, and she's like, my bad. But they cut her head off and set her on fire, and she dies.
Good riddance.
So her sisters flip the fuck out and try to go kill the small army by themselves. They manage to stop them, and are like, if you don't calm the fuck down, we're all gonna die.
This could turn into a bloodbath.
So they do, but Jane tries to hurt Edward, so Bella shields him.
Damn it, why would it work?
And then she expands it to cover all their friends, and this pisses off Jane, who tries to attack their army by herself. But Aro stops her and tells their people that even though there haven't been any laws broken, they don't know if Renesmee will come back and kill them when she's older. So since she might become more powerful than them one day, they want to kill the 45-pound little girl.
Can't imagine why.
Cause if we don't do something soon, that thing will grow and kill us all.
But then Alice and Jasper show up, and she says that she can show them that Renesmee won't be a problem. So they let her pass, but bitch slap Jasper for some reason. But after she shows him, he still doesn't give a fuck and still wants to kill everybody. So she signals Bella to send Renesmee off with Jacob, and then super roundhouse kicks Aro in the face as a distraction. The Volturi then take Alice prisoner because she's the one they wanted to begin with. And even though she's literally the safest one on the field, Carlisle charges Aro and they meet midair, and Carlisle gets his head ripped off and they set his body on fire and he dies.
Yes, very sad. Anyway.
So everyone attacks and a bunch of people are getting killed. Then Jane gives Jasper an orgasm and this dude lets him finish before he karate chops his head off. And then Emmett gets Jane's brother's payback. And then someone kills Seth, and Leah housed Jacob, who's trying to outrun a vampire. Now you think that he's too sad to notice him, but just as he attacks, Jacob bites his head off without losing pace or the child riding on his back.
Your lack of confidence in us is a little insulting.
And after a few more deaths, Benjamin's had enough of this crap, and he punches a hole in the world, and people just start falling or get pushed in, including Edward. But don't worry, he super jumps through a rock and rips off the head of the dude that pushed him. Alice wants revenge on Jane and charges at her. She tries to cause Alice pain, but Bella's shielding her, so she starts running like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. But Alice jumps over her and drags her over to Sam, who bites her head off, and she dies.
Fuck yeah, bitch.
Then the sisters rip out the little blonde dude's face, and the two way too dressed up vampires kill that weird whispery guy, who I think wanted to die.
Your depression thing, I get it. I'm totally worried.
But Aro's sick of this shit and goes after Edward. Bella gets to him first, and Aro uppercuts her into Edward. So they decide to attack Aro as a couple, and they cut off his head and set it on fire, and he dies.
I love a happy ending.
Unfortunately,
it was all a dream.
It appears we missed an entertaining fight.
Alice was only showing Aro what happens if they attack. I don't know how.
I can't see past you and your pack of mutts.
But the little blonde fucker still thinks that the kid should die. And that's when we find out that Alice and Jasper went to the Amazon to find another half-breed who's like, I can pass for human, but I'm a vampire like you guys. And then Blondie's like, but the Cullens hang out with werewolves. Surely we should kill them for that.
Werewolves are not good company to keep.
And Aura's like, listen bitch, if we attack, I'm gonna fucking die. So our asses are going home. And they fuck off.
It's not often we're rendered unnecessary.
The fancy vampires are like, we should still go attack them. Otherwise, they'll just go after all of us individually later. But the Cullens don't give a shit, because they have Alice to warn them, and it's not like anyone they cared about got killed. So all you guys that helped us out when we needed you are now on your own.
Can't trust vampires. Trust me.
So everyone celebrates by kissing somebody except Tanya, but Garrett's like, hey, why don't you join us? And Carmen's like, why don't we make it a 5-way?
Please tell me that Jacob doesn't kiss Renesmee.
No, he just goes home.
Oh, thank God.
But Edward has warmed up to the idea of the two of them.
I guess we just leave them to it.
Gross.
Well, based on Alice's vision, at least he has the courtesy to wait until she appears to be 18 before he goes for it. So I guess that's something.
I wasn't asking for permission.
How old will she actually be when that happens?
I became full grown 7 years after my birth. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop.
What a marshmallow. What's up with you and age?
Well, that was fucking Twilight, and I hope you guys subscribe because I might have a brain tumor after going through all 5 of those stories.
It's all right. You're gonna be okay.
It's hard to explain, but I need you to be open-minded. Can you do that?
Nothing ever made sense before. And now I understand why. This was the reason.
Well, I can see what everyone's been talking about.
I'm amazed.
So suck it up.
I'd like to hear about it.
It's always different, which keeps it interesting.
That's what I'm talking about.
Cause that's some fucking ugly baby. A fucking ugly baby.
You two trying to get rid of me? Because it's working.